even if you look at internationally, essentially, the West has lost its appetite to support democratic movements or democracy outside Europe. When it came to Ukraine, they responded, or at least they feel that they are responding to, democratic impulses in Ukraine. But whether it is Myanmar or it is Afghanistan, not only have they more or less, distanced themselves from the project of democracy in these countries, but in the case of Afghanistan, they've even really confined their support for women's rights, which are under tremendous pressure in Afghanistan, entirely to rhetoric and kind of lip service. In the 1990s, when the Taliban 1.0 was around, there was actually a very robust movement in the West amongst women's groups and women's organizations not to cave in to, for example, oil interests in Afghanistan. And in fact, I think the women's movements in the West deserve some credit to prevent the legitimization of the Taliban in that period, when there were certain, kind of corporate forces that were pushing for some degree of recognition. Even that we see missing. So even culturally, what we see is internationally, the values of the French Revolution, of freedom, liberty, equality, fraternity, which, came through the American War of Independence and the colonial struggle for independence for the developing world also, we are not seeing that kind of international solidarity for causes for freedom, causes for democracy, causes for human rights. Regionally, we are not seeing the kind of partnership that we had in the 90s between Iran, Russia, and India. And whatever little low-level kind of consultations are taking place through the National Security Advisors Network and through the SCO, it's just that. In fact, there is no other international format, whether to discuss peace, there's no UN process to discuss peace, there's not even any regional process to discuss, peace, or for that matter, inclusive government or anything. So really nothing is happening. And in a way, it's tempting to think whether this is a lull and something may happen, because the humanitarian situation has not improved. If anything, a humanitarian situation of humanitarian concern 2 years back, and at that time it was talked about much more, has become worse. International funding for Afghanistan has dropped. The reach of UN humanitarian organizations, including the WFP, their coverage in Afghanistan has dropped. So the people of Afghanistan are worse off than ever. And even the people in Afghanistan, all they are looking for is an opportunity to get out. It's just that their avenues to get out and their welcome anywhere else in the world, including India, unfortunately, is not there. And in India, we are not even being able to help the Indian students who were studying. Those who are here, we have helped, but those who went back have not been able to come back. And this is a very emotive issue amongst the Indians, amongst the Afghan students who have been effectively left. And it is still something that is echoing in, the social media and the Twitter world.